Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Novelist. All right, so we are picking this back up and continuing on with the story. So I believe this last time was the first one where we didn't focus on Dan's, yeah, Dan's storyline, so Dan's book. So we focused on Tommy and Linda. Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan, I want to stress that it's perfectly normal for some children to fall behind in a specific area. Tommy may be struggling with reading comprehension, but his verbal and visual abilities are excellent. That said, he won't catch up on his own. He will need support from both of you. I recommend that you do the attached exercise with Tommy every weekday morning for 1 or 2 hours. He'll be unable to focus exclusively on these for 2 straight hours, so you'll need to take intermittent breaks and use your judgment and stay with it as long as you feel he can stay engaged. I suggest that you do your sessions in the morning before he tires himself out and becomes distracted. I feel confident that with a supportive environment and dedicated exercise, he will catch up to the other children in his class. Please be in touch if you have any questions. Dr. Donald Samuels. So this is going to be a tough one because both the parents are absolutely, on their own journeys right now, and I feel like they aren't noticing Tommy's struggles as much as they maybe should be. That also might be my fault. So let's see what Linda's memories have for us today. What do we have in store? Gotta look around, don't want to miss anything that we need to read, etc.
We barely talked yesterday.
Wow, you're right. I guess we've just been so busy.
So they've been busy and not talking to each other. Because, the dad's trying to write a novel, and the mom's trying to, create paintings for a showcase, gallery showing. And, those are both very high, intense, high time-consuming types of work. The Literary Registrar, May edition. Inside. The Books of Summer. Adam Squire's The Interview. America's Top Small Run Publishers. These may not have changed from the last chapter. I remember we could look at the magazines before. Oh my god, we just got home and wow! Now I wish we'd done a bigger gallery. It was packed, but I guess it's like a bar. Being loud and crowded just make people think it's cooler. What an experience. So many people said that the promo in the paper caught their eye and stood out from the usual notices, and I've got a call with an agent Dan found scheduled on Tuesday. I don't know how I'll feel in the morning other than hungover, but right now I want that rush again. So she's going to want more more galleries, more time in her art. So let's go ahead and exit this memory. We read that. So let's look for other things to read. Generally, you have to find a few things for each character, as I'm sure you're aware if you've been watching. Visiting artist Linda Kaplan's show this week was the talk of the local art world. Hosted at the Westlake Gallery, the collection on display was striking. The artist, joined by her husband and son, was on hand to discuss her work with guests, who filled the room nearly to capacity. Unlike other recent shows, this one, and there's something right next to it, ideas. Weekly outing. Where? Tuesday night movie. Check channel guide or maybe go into town. Family dinner. Too old-fashioned? Picnic. Farmer's market. So it sounds like she wants to spend more time with her family. So I think this is probably Linda's journal. Dan and I had a good conversation today. Well, we'll have to wait and see if it was actually good, but I feel like I got my point across about family time. We've been getting a little frayed on the little things lately, and it reminded me of something Anne said one time. Love is a behavior, not an emotion. If something's important to you, show it with your actions. We weren't doing so well with that before we got here. I told Dan my idea. I want us all to eat together at 7 every night with family time after that. Tommy's wiped out by 8:30, so we'd get a solid hour and a half as a family, and then Dan and I could have the rest of the night to ourselves. And I think 7's a reasonable request. The rest of the working world knocks off at 5, right? It doesn't really matter what we do with the time, just that we spend it together. It's easy to make excuses when you've got a lot going on, which is why patterns help. I hope he feels the same way. So she wants family time. So let's take a look at what Tommy wants. I mean, Tommy needs practice reading by the sounds of it. So we have once again the photo of him not looking too happy standing next to his dad. So this is the same note that we've already read from that place on the wall.
Will it make me smarter? Honey, listen to me. You are smart.
So they're probably talking about, his reading comprehension
Hey, Mom.
difficulties.
Hi,
All right, now we found Dan. He just happened to kind of like wander into us. So we'll figure out what he's going for.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped. I just.
Whoa.
Okay, so he snapped at her. We know he's gotten behind on his novel because of everything going on. He helped Linda with her gallery advertisement. I'm like, do we need to go downstairs? I think we do. Because this is what we've already seen. So he missed a deadline in the last chapter, if I recall correctly. And is probably very unhappy about that. Just called Paul. Didn't even get a chance to explain before he started in on me. Reamed me out. Absolutely killed me. No point writing any more than that. Writing everything here instead of working on the book is what screwed me in the first place. So yeah, so he missed his deadline and that messed everything up. I don't think we found all the notes and stuff for anybody, so we need to do some searching. Alright, so a letter from Dan. Alan. This letter might come from out of the blue, but do you remember when you told me about Bobby falling behind on reading? Looks like we're there with Tommy. We knew he was struggling when we came up here, but his teacher gave us a list of books for him to work on over break and said we should see how he responded to the change in environment. She gave us a few sample readings and told us to keep an eye on how he was grasping the concepts. Tommy still isn't there, and long story short, the pediatrician in town knows a specialist who gave us some exercises to try. They seem pretty straightforward, but I wanted to write and see if you had any tips that helped you guys with Bobby. Damn, just realized I didn't even ask you how you've been. Sorry. This stuff is just a lot to think about. Dan. Perfect schedule, aka the single unattached writer's guide. 10 to 2, write. 2 to 3, eat and step away. 3 to 7, write. 7 to 8, eat. 8 to 10, decompress plus edit plus life. Wrenches. Tommy till 11, knock off at 7. So he does not like the new idea of the schedule, it sounds like. So we can now read Dan's thoughts to see what he wants. So he wants to not have the family time. Time. This would be easier if I didn't ever have to sleep. Last night after can't read today. Last night after Linda went to bed, I spent some time, there's that word again, trying to make everything fit. I drew up a little chart. The math is simple. It doesn't work. Technically, I could still get in 8 hours, assuming I don't eat or need to do anything that's not writing. But what about letters, reading, dealing with Paul? Hell, what about doing the dishes or taking out the trash? Not to mention that knocking off for the day isn't like flipping off a switch. It takes time to crawl out of my head and start functioning like a normal person again. And I can't just split it up into smaller chunks. Sometimes it takes an hour of false starts just to get going on anything usable, and stopping just sends the whole process right back to square one. Something's gotta give. I do know that thing where you kind of need to like work on it for a while before you really get going. I totally am like that with my work. If I have half an hour, I don't find that's worth starting much, unless it's something like I just need to read emails or write emails, etc. Lonnie learns letters, age 4 to 6, 12 chapters of reading comprehension exercises. So that's for Tommy. So I have 2 more Tommy clues to find? My goodness. I'm missing everything right now. I'll find them though. Probably check his room. Oh, I didn't mean to enter his memories. Thanks though for the invite. Here's a drawing that we can look at. Oh, so it's Tommy being bullied by other kids at school probably. The one child is wearing a backpack. And I don't believe we've found all of Linda's clues yet either, so we still have some stuff to find that clearly I'm just bad at finding. Maybe we need to go back downstairs. So I'll just crawl through here one more time. Then we'll go back down the stairs. We looked at both of those. Did we look at this? Yeah, the good conversation about spending family time. Nothing on the dining table, nothing over here. Nothing in the kitchen. Unless this bottle is important. No, it's bourbon whiskey. That's what it says.
Hi, Mom. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Hi, honey.
Nope, nope, nope. Okay, the door to my office. So we haven't found his stuff yet. Did we read this? Yeah, falling behind. I don't want to explore memories. I just want to read thoughts. So we have found all of Linda's things. We just have not found... Oh. Okay. So we do have everybody's stuff. Wait, did we read this? Barb, sorry it's been so long since I've written. Things have been hectic around here and I'm trying to figure out a way to get things back on track. I don't really want to get into it, but we're getting pulled in a lot of different directions right now. Nothing hurtful, just competing priorities, I guess. Although those can get worse and worse over time. I mean, Dan and I, before we got up here, you know we'd started to drift. Look at that, I said I didn't want to get into it, and I did anyway. Enough about me. Please tell me you're doing well. I hope this doesn't stress you out too much. I promise to write a happier letter soon. Yours always, Linda. So, okay. I forgot what she wants.
No.
So the Lonnie book, the door to the office, the dining table, I think was the third thing. So select the table. So we have to think. What do we select? We neglected the book in the last chapter, and I did really want to focus on the book. So I'm leaning kind of back towards doing Dan as the main and Linda as the second. The family time. But that's going to lead to Tommy's reading comprehension getting worse. But we've probably we just haven't done, like, Tommy's stuff that much for the game. So, like, oops. But that's the whole point, right? Like, it's supposed to be hard. Is this not his office door? Is this his office door? Okay. So, I'm going to pick Dan's. I don't want to. Oh, because he's ignoring the other people. Like, it just seems like he's not being very considerate of what other people want. Oh. But I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it because I want to see what happens when we focus on the book. So we'll see. We're gonna do Linda's compromise. I think the family time is really important. So yeah, we'll see. Press tab to view available. So yeah, we're gonna go to the table at the end, but you know we've got to look around for our notes from the people who've been here previously. And we've got 2 right here, very glowy notes. Diary of K. Williams, May 8th, 1952. Jay is gone and I'm alone. That's the sum of it. No other thought enters my mind. Wed 38 years, now alone. A senseless accident has taken Jay from me. What should I do with myself? I do not know. Money is no worry. Time, that's the thing. There's so much of it still ahead of me, and I have been blessed with health, but that blessing is now a curse. It is nothing more than a curse of time alone without Jay. I attempt to look ahead, but cannot envision a path without Jay. For so long I had no need to imagine one. The children do not understand why I've come to this house alone, as they cannot understand my loss. I mean, I assume Jay is their mother or their stepmother. I'm sure that they're grieving as well. Diary of K. Williams, May 12th, 1952. I cannot say that I feel better than I did upon arriving, for Jay is still gone, but I do feel a change. Some glimmer of a path is taking form in my mind. I cannot describe it other than a narrowing of thought. Perhaps time alone is to be thanked, or perhaps it is something else, something unknown. Today I drove to McClendon's to buy coffee, wine, and vegetables, although I was not due to run short of those for a few days more. I confess I went to hear human voices, to be around the living. I conversed with a pleasant couple, and it did me no small measure of good. My first words came out as a croak. I realized I hadn't spoken in days, a small reminder of my solitary days here, alone with my thoughts, thinking of Jay, staring at the sea just over the cliff, though I must confess that my gaze always drifts from the sea to the edge of the cliff. So this sounds like a man who's very depressed, or woman. I guess we don't have I don't think we had anything that suggested genders of either parties. So it sounds like he's contemplating jumping off the cliff, which is not great. We just gotta search, make sure we're not missing anything. I think there's usually 2 things at night to find, and this time they happen to be very close to one another. But I don't want to miss anything. So we're just gonna go ahead then, and I guess select the compromise. Alright, and so now we've just gotta go tell Dan what to do and see how this has affected the game. When Dan couldn't come up with a schedule that worked for everyone, he made the decision to protect his working hours. He made a haste not to be disturbed if his office doors were closed, and for the rest of the summer he stuck to a strict schedule with dedicated writing time every day. Dan couldn't find time to knock off completely at 7 every night, but he agreed to have dinner at the table each night before heading back to work. Linda and Tommy missed him after dinner, with the sound of his typewriter the only sign that he was even in the house, but they were glad for the time they did get at the table. Tommy didn't understand why his father, a writer, couldn't help him with his reading lessons. Linda devoted herself to Tommy's morning practice, but only having one parent there sent a message that Tommy couldn't forget. The sound of Dan's typewriter drifting down to the den is a constant reminder of Dan's priorities. See, that's so sad. Life is difficult. As July came to an end, the Kaplans' lives had developed a pattern. Dan's fingers could barely keep up as he typed the last chapter of his first draft. He'd always thought the phrase, "the words are coming through me," was cliché for hacks, but he didn't think that now. The book wasn't done yet, still needed work and polish, but he knew if he focused, he could make something that truly mattered. So I think this is the end of the game, guys. Dan and Linda spent the weekend at a bed and breakfast. They relaxed, went hiking, and had a quiet dinner at the corner table of a small restaurant down the street. Afterwards, they walked home hand in hand like they were 21 again, content and in love. Okay, so we seem to have saved their marriage. And on the following Tuesday, Tommy put on an art show in the den, explaining his drawings to his parents one by one. Linda was enthusiastic, but Dan couldn't have shown less interest or support. He barely paid attention. At one point, he criticized the proportions in a drawing. Linda was aghast, and Tommy was devastated. He tore up the drawing and ran to his room, crying. They still had a month left, but Dan's chances to change the course of the summer were growing fewer. Okay, so maybe we have more chapters. Maybe we're just at like the end of the second major part. And there's a third. Okay, yep, looks like there will be a third part. Vacation. So what's it gonna say? It was summer. And summer was the time, is all we could get out of that before it ended. So anyway, guys, I am going to end this episode here. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'm the Purple Pegasus, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.